Today I'm going to teach you a solo that I wrote in the key of G major, and every note in this solo comes exclusively from the major pentatonic scales. This video is just to kind of get your feet wet using the major pentatonics and also to train your ear to what it ought to sound like. I'm going to start by just playing the solo top down, and then I'll break down the whole thing note by note. So here we go. All right, I'm going to break this thing up into 4 different sections for you. Here's the first one. So the first lick of this first section goes like this. And it comes in on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see right when I do that first slide, I'm saying the word 4. That's beat 4 there. So let me break it down. I'm going to slide with my middle finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret up to the 4th fret of that same string, just like that. Then I'm going to come over here to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then a hammer on onto the 5th fret of that same string like this. Then I'm going to lay over to the 1st string 3rd fret, and then I've got my lick. Just like that. The next bit goes like this. So what I'm doing there is a pull off on the 2nd string 5th fret down to the 3rd fret of that same string. Then I'm coming over here to the 3rd string 4th fret, grabbing that note. Then I'm going to slide from the 3rd fret 2nd string up to the 5th fret of that same string. So all together so far we got this. 2, 3. Just like that. The next lick goes like this. So what I'm doing there is sliding from 5 up to 7 of the 3rd string. Then I'm coming over here to the with my 1st finger on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Then I'm going to do a hammer on to the 8th fret of that string. And then come over here to the 1st string 7th fret and play that note. So what I got there is... Then we got... So what I'm doing there is 2 pull-offs. The first one is from the 10th fret of the 1st string down to the 7th fret. Then the 10th fret of the 2nd string down to the 8th fret. Then I'm playing the 10th fret of the 2nd string and the 7th fret of the 3rd string. Just like that. So the whole first section here. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So there's the first section. Let's jump on to the next one. So what I'm doing there is starting with my 1st finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string and doing a hammer on to the 9th fret of that same string with my 3rd finger. Then I'm coming over here to the 2nd string 8th fret and plucking that note twice. So we got... Then I'm coming back over here to the 9th fret of the 3rd string and doing a pull off down to 7. So we got... Then I'm going to do that same lick. So I'm doing the same lick twice there, then ending that whole bit up with a slide from 7 up to 9. Just like that. So we got... Then next we got this little guy. like that little lick. We're going to start with the 7th fret of the 3rd string. Play that note. Then the 9th fret of the 4th string. Then I'm going to do this little double stop. My first finger is on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. My middle finger is on the 8th fret of the 2nd string. I'm going to play both of those notes at the same time and do a hammer-on onto the 9th fret of the 3rd string, like this. So it's kind of challenging to keep your 3rd finger, the underside of your 3rd finger, away from that 2nd string, because you definitely want to still hear that note. So kind of be cognizant of that as you're doing this. Then I'm going to take that 3rd finger off and do a quick jab on those 2 notes again, just like that. And I kind of want to mute the strings right after I do that 2nd jab. And I'm muting that with my right hand. Then I'm going to do this little slide. Let's see. I like this guy too. We're going to slide from the 9th fret of the 4th string down to the 7th fret. Then I'm going to do a pull off from 7 down to 5. Then I'm going to come over here to the 7th fret of the 5th string and pluck that, followed by the 5th fret of that same string. So we got that. Then I'm going to come over here to the 7th fret of the 4th string and do a little layover. 7th fret of the 4th, 7th fret of the 5th, and then grab the 5th fret of the 4th string. So we got. Then, I'm almost done with this lick. We're going to slide up from 7 to 9 on the 4th string. Grab the 7th fret of the 3rd. Then I'm going to do a quick slide from 9 back down to 7. So it's like. So that whole bit goes. Just like that. So it starts with this nice little ascending lick. Oh, that was a little sloppy, but you get the idea. I'm going to start with my middle finger on the 4th string, 7th fret. Going to pluck that note and slide up into the 9th fret. Just like that. Then I'm coming over here to the 3rd string, 7th fret. Pluck that note. Hammer on the 9th fret with your middle finger, because of where we're going, to the 2nd string, 8th fret. So far we got. Or just like that. That right there is a good lick to have in and of itself. Then I'm going to hammer on the 10th fret of the 2nd string and slide up to the 12th fret. So we just played the 8th fret. Now we're going to hammer on and slide. Come over here to the 1st string, 10th fret. Hammer on the 12th. Then slide up to the 15th. And play that note a 2nd time after you get there. So we got. Just like that. So there's the first lick of this 3rd section. Now let's move on to the next part. So what I'm doing is a full step bend and release on the 17th fret of the 1st string. So I'm bending up and releasing it just like that. Then I'm going to do a pull off from the 17th fret down to the 15th. Just like that. So we got. Then I'm going to come back over to the 17th fret, play that note, lay over that finger onto the 2nd string, 17th fret. Then I'm going to do a slide from 15 up to 17 with my 1st finger. So we got. Just like that. There's the 2nd lick of the 3rd section. We'll move on to the next part. This guy right here. So there's a lot of notes in this part of the lick, so try to hang in there with me. I'm going to start on the 2nd string, 17th fret, pluck that note, and hammer on the 20th fret right after it. Then I'm going to come over here to the 1st string, 19th fret, and then come back right where I left off on the 20th fret of the 2nd string. So you can think of it in that little burst of 4 notes. Then I'm going to come over here to the 17th fret of the first string, back to the 20th of the second, pull off down to the 17th of that same string. So we've got next, I'm going to come over here to the 19th fret of the third string and follow that up with the 17th fret of the second string again, like that. Then I'm going to alternate between those two notes 4 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So far we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. When I get here, I'm going to hammer on the 20th fret, pull it right back off, then end this whole part right there on the 19th fret of the third string. So all that. Then I'm going to do this little double stop. I'm going to slide with my first finger on the 14th fret of the third string, my third finger on the 15th fret of the second. I'm going to slide those two notes up a full step and right back down. Just like that. So all of those notes, I'm considering lick 3, I think, of that section. And that wraps up section 3. Let's move on to the last one. So let's start with all these slides. I'm going to start with my first finger on the second string, 3rd fret, pluck that note, hammer on the 5th fret, slide into 8. Then I'm going to follow that pattern as far as plucking a note, hammering on, and sliding. I'm going to pluck the 5th fret, hammer 8, slide to 10. Then I'm going to pluck 8, hammer 10, slide to 12. Then I'm going to pluck 10, hammer 12, slide to 15. Then I'm going to pluck 12 and actually bend the 15th fret up a full step. Just like that. So we got. When you get up to the 15th fret and you go back to the 15th fret, the 12th fret, you're actually going to pull off to that. So you will go pull before the bend. Just like that. Then to wrap up the whole solo, I got this guy. That wasn't played the best, but you get the idea. We're going to do a slide on the second string, 15th fret. Then I'm going to kind of rock between the first and second strings, like that. So I start on the second, then grab the first, then back to the second. Then over here to the first string, 12th fret. Then the second string, 12th fret, 15th fret of the second string, 14th fret of the third, 12th fret of the second, 12th fret of the third. Are you keeping up with me? Then I'm going to grab the 14th fret of the third string and bend that up a full step. Then I'm going to grab the 15th fret with my pinky of the second string. Then I'm going to come back to that bend and release it. Pull off down to 12. Over here to 14th fret of the fourth string. And then end that part of the lick on the 12th fret of the 4th string. So we got. Then I'm going to end with these nice little double stops. What I'm doing there is barring with my first finger on the 4th and 3rd string, 12th fret, barring and sliding up to 14 like this. Then I'm doing the same thing on the strings 5 and 4. Then I'm wrapping it up with this nice little 3rd double stop. My middle finger's on the 10th fret of the 5th string, my first finger's on the 9th fret of the 4th string, And what do you know? You've learned the whole solo from top to bottom. Again, we learned this solo today to give you a bit of an introduction to the major pentatonic scales, to give you an idea of what it feels like and sounds like. Be sure to download the tab and the track on your way out. They're both in the description below. And if you liked what you saw today, please like and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.